Hello, everyone. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Got to think about what day it is. Welcome to the morning stretch break. If you have anything today that feels tight or any areas that need a little extra love, feel free to drop that in the chat box and I can add that to what we're going to be doing today. But we are going to start off on the ground today. Neck and shoulders, perfect. We can definitely add some neck and shoulders in there. Okay, so actually we'll start off with neck and shoulders. So you can do this either seated or standing. I'm going to say seated because the angle of this camera is not great. So either seated or standing, what we're going to do first is we're just going to open up our chest a little bit and stretch out those shoulders. So I'm going to start. And again, if you're on the ground, you can be in a kneeling position like I am. We're going to take our fingers, we're going to interlace them together. We're going to push those knuckles towards the ground and pull apart our hands. So we're going to actively pull those hands apart while those knuckles are going into the ground. And we can start to look up towards the ceiling. Nice big deep breaths into the chest. Slowly exhaling. And this is going to help us just open up our chest and shoulders a little bit more. We want to make sure we're not arching our back too much, just letting that chest open up. Great job, everyone. Let's do one more big inhale here. And we're going to slowly exhale. We can gently release our hands, shake those shoulders out a little bit if you'd like to. And staying here, again, you can either be seated or standing for this. So we can do a couple neck circles here, stretch out that neck a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and have our shoulders pulled back nice and tall, starting with that chin on our chest. And we can go in whichever direction you would like to. We're gonna do about 2 to 3 each direction. So going nice and slow. Try not to move our body. And only really moving that neck, making a nice big circle on the ceiling. Keeping that core tight back, nice and flat. Let's go ahead and do one more circle wherever we're at. And we can go ahead and move to the other direction. So same thing, just switching the direction, trying not to move our bodies, just moving our neck. You may feel or hear some popping and cracking, and that's totally normal. That's all good as long as there's no pain associated. We're going to go ahead and do one more big neck circle. Finishing up with our chin on our chest. And from here, we can slowly bring our head back up. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to our hands and our knees. And from here, we're going to go ahead and tuck our toes and push our glutes up towards the ceiling, our hips. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. We're going to go ahead and stretch out our upper back here a little bit. And also we'll stretch out the calves here. So what we're going to do is we're going to press each heel into the ground individually. So getting a nice calf stretch, we're just going to push down on that left heel, pushing that into the ground, letting that right heel come up. Nice big deep breaths, breathing into any tightness in the back of our legs here today. We can go ahead and switch sides. So I'm pushing now the right heel into the ground, left heel coming up. Feeling that stretch all the way through the back of the leg. And on the next exhale, switching back to the left side or whichever side you started with. Really pressing that heel into the ground. And we're going to switch one more time here. So now the right foot going into the ground. And returning to that center position, we're going to go ahead and bring those hips down into a plank position. And from here, we're going to stretch out our glutes and our hips a little bit more. So let's go ahead and take that right knee, place that in between our hands here, bringing our back leg onto the ground. So if you're familiar with yoga, this is going to be a nice pigeon pose here. So if you are feeling a good stretch here on your hands, feel free to stay there. If you'd like, we can go ahead and bring those elbows towards the ground, and you can even put your head on the ground, whatever feels comfortable today. We just want a nice medium tension stretch, feeling that in the back of the hip. Breathing nice and deep here. Slowly exhaling, feeling our body relax further into the stretch with each exhale. Breathing into any tightness we feel in our hips today. It's always good to kind of stretch this out before it gets super tight from sitting at the end of the day. It's always good to stay ahead of that. Awesome. Let's go ahead and do one more big inhale here. Slowly exhaling. We can go ahead and come back onto our hands here. Tuck that toe under us on the left foot and returning back into that plank position here. And we're going to do that same thing on the other side. So nice big inhale. On the exhale, bringing that left knee in between our hands, right leg going onto the ground. And again, if you're feeling a good stretch here in this position, feel free to stay on those hands, or you can go down onto the elbows, getting as close to the ground as you feel comfortable. We just want a nice medium tension stretch through the back of the hip. Breathing nice and slow, really relaxing into the stretch here. Slowly exhaling. Nice, big, deep belly breaths, feeling that low back expand. Great job, everyone. Let's go ahead and do one more big inhale here. And we're going to slowly exhale. We can come back onto our hands after that exhale. Tuck that toe of the right leg, pushing ourselves back into a plank here. And then we can gently bring those knees towards the ground. And we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of an active stretch here, opening up our spine and our back. So on those hands and our knees, what we're going to do here is I'm going to start with my right arm and I'm going to reach through my left arm, my left leg. And then on the exhale, we're going to reach up towards the ceiling. So we're getting some nice rotation through the spine, gazing past the thumb of the hand as we're towards the ceiling. And then we're going to go back through, reaching through. And exhaling again, reaching up towards the ceiling, getting nice and straight. As you can see, my shoulder's not forward. We want a nice straight line from hands to fingers. And one more here, reaching through. And exhaling, opening up. And returning to center, hands and knees here. And we're going to go ahead and do that on the other side now. So reaching through with the left arm in between the right arm and the right leg as far as we can. Exhaling, opening up towards the ceiling. Reaching through, nice big inhale. And exhaling, opening up towards the ceiling. Awesome job, everyone. And one more, inhaling, reaching through. And exhaling, opening up. And back to center. And you can either stay here on your hands and your knees, you can be kneeling, seated, standing, however you would like to end, but that's going to be all the time I have for this morning stretch break. So thank you all for joining me. Hope that was a nice way to just kind of get the body warmed up, get some nice stretching in there. So we do have one more stretch break today at 2:30 with me, so I hope to see you all there. We do also have abs and core at 4:30 p.m. tonight with Louise, so don't miss out on that. And as we have said it a lot of times last week, we do have our virtual blood drive starting. That's going to be June 1st through June 30th. So sign up today. Slots are pretty limited to donate. So don't forget to sign up earlier than later. And also the Design to Run virtual race registration is open for that. So if you visit our SharePoint site, all of the information on how to register is up there. So thank you all for coming. I hope you have a great rest of your morning, and hopefully I'll see you all later today at 2:30 for the other stretch break. Great
Thanks,
job,
Jazzy.
everyone. Thanks for
Thanks,
coming.
Jazzy.